YouTube, what the crap's going on? I promised you more this replay from the Blade Balance mod the other day when I was playing my live battle, and here it is. You all seem to have liked the Blade Balance mod fairly well so far. I haven't used it a whole lot, but again, this is one of those deals that if you want to try something different with the multiplayer, this is a way to do it. You can download it, a friend can download it, and you can try it out. And of course, it's just in the workshop with all the other mods, very easy to use. What the heck? Some kind of new unit here? I don't recognize that unit, so we have to check it out. So this is going to be a Chaos versus Greenskin. I haven't gotten to see this replay yet, so I want to see the armies and take a guess at this. So Chaos Knights with Lances. I'm thinking that was the unit card maybe that I didn't recognize. Chaos Warhounds. Yeah, so one Chaos Knight with Lances on both sides. One Chaos Giant. There. Yeah, we got a Chaos Giant. A Fire Sorcerer. The Wizard here is just a Chaos Sorcerer, Lore of Death. So 2 wizards for Blade Master. He's got a Forsaken on each flank, and then 4 Marauders with great weapons in the center. So damage dealers on the flanks, a little bit of armor piercing, a little bit weaker infantry in the center, but so weak infantry in the center, fast movers to flank around this empty hole in the map, and then the Chaos Knights with lances to contend with enemy cavalry. But the orcs have done no such thing in terms of cavalry. They have a line of orc boys, which, you know, pretty decent infantry for the punch. They got a couple of night goblins. This is interesting. They have a missile weapon they use, and they vanguard deploy, and they can also be hidden. And then they have 2 black orcs here in the center. Looks like we've got an orc shaman as the leader, or no, not the leader. Whoa, 2 giants though. Holy, Chaos is gonna hate that. The 2 giants are going to be very problematic because Chaos doesn't have missile units, so that's actually a great pick on the part of Evil Bookie. And Evil Bookie has Grimgore here too. There is a Death Sorcerer here, so potential to hurt Grimgore some with Spirit Leech, but I want to say that Blade Master nerfed it a little bit. These 2 giants, man, this is going to be hard for Blade Master to deal with, at least I think. Lore of the Big Wah here, I think that they've improved area of effect spells, so I would think, and Blade Master can comment to this effect, I would think Foot of Gork and Brain Bursta are going to be stronger now in the Blade Balance mod, though I could be wrong. Let's see, here comes those Chaos Warhounds. I'm thinking he wants to run those. He's not running them around the lake yet. The lake will kind of secure his flank a little bit. Just an orc boy out here. So the main Chaos line, it'll do okay-ish versus... Now what just happened here? The fire... Oh! What a nasty bombardment. Holy crap! That little bombardment there from the Fire Sorcerer, that was ugly. It didn't give him any kills, which is odd. Normally it does count it. I mean, it was an overcast bombardment. It did a lot of damage. Look at this. Here comes the flaming head too, just searing right through the orcs. Not a lot of damage to the black orcs. Here comes the Marauders with great weapons, and they're gonna get piled in on pretty hard. The Forsaken and the Chaos Spawn are gonna need to get in here to support, and then the Chaos Giant. But like I said, the big problem here is gonna be these Greenskin Giants. If these Chaos Knights with Lances could maybe hit this, I'm thinking they might want to hit the Orc Boy and then swing around for a rear charge in the Giant, but instead they piled in here. I'm not sure that's going to be a great choice. This Giant, though, definitely can hold down the Orc Boys, but you can see the Chaos Marauders with great weapons already wavering, and that's going to be the problem. They cannot hold up for extended periods of time. Here comes the Chaos Knight with Lances. Gets caught a little bit right here, but still going to get a devastating charge in on the Orc Boys. Orc boys, goblins. Yeah, I mean, right here in the center, the Giant has helped rout a big swath of chaos. Coming in with a charge here, Blade Master trying to stop that. The Giant here is going to destroy the Orc boys, but it's going to take a while. Forsaken should do pretty well in this combat, except for where they run into Black Orcs. This Forsaken's already very damaged, but 129 kills already, though. So it's doing some damage. Grimgore is going to rock their world, though. And this Giant is tearing up the Fire Sorcerer, so that's looking bad. I'm pretty sure that these 2 Giants are going to end up jacking up Chaos something fierce. I don't really see how this is going to turn around for Blade Master. Maybe if a bunch of these units come back, but I just don't see how he's going to take down all the Black Orcs. he can't deal with Grimgore very well unless he Spirit Leeches him. But he's also got to deal with the Giants. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the Chaos Knights with Lances are about the only thing that's going to be able to potentially damage the Giant, but they're anti-infantry, not anti-large. Let's see what happens here. Here comes the Chaos Knights with Lances. Should get a nice charge into this group of infantry. And if it's followed up with the Chaos Spawn, it could be pretty good. A magic missile spell there, not doing much. Chaos Spawn are kind of trapped here. Here comes the Night Goblins. Orc Boys. I mean, this is just a big jacked up fight all across the map. The Chaos Warhounds are going to be of very little use here. They were probably meant to hit fast-moving units. The Chaos Spawn, along with the Knights here, are doing a considerable amount of damage to everything except for Grimgore. Might just want to avoid Grimgore at this point, like just pull away from him, because that is not a fight that you want to stay in. These Chaos Knights are going to be very important. If they could rear charge this blob at this point, that could be very helpful, because these Black Orcs are going to kill these Chaos Marauders so quickly. All right, let's see what's going to happen. If anything, Black Orcs way back here. Nice job getting rid of the routing units there with the Chaos Warhounds, so they do have a value there. Chaos Spawn being left here to deal with Grimgore. They will not deal with Grimgore. Grimgore deals with them. The Chaos Giant is fighting the Greenskin Giant, and it is not going well for him. Here comes some Chaos Knights. Let's see how this turns out. All the regrouped Chaos Infantry's kind of getting beat down over here, but we'll see. Let's see if the Chaos Knights can deal enough damage. Their charge did do a lot of damage here. Brain Bursta right there onto the Chaos Knights with Lances did do some damage. It wasn't extreme. Looks like the Chaos Knights are going to pull out. It might help them to cycle charge there. And here comes the Lore of Death Sorcerer. There's a Black Orc here, though, and that's a problem. Yeah, the Chaos Knights here really need to get a rear charge in on this Black Orc. Let's see if that happens. Looks like they will, though it's kind of a weak charge. They didn't get a very solid charge there. Their formation was a bit awkward. So it's not going to finish the Black Orcs, I don't think. But here comes a second unit. May do the job. The leadership of the Black Orcs is suffering. Now the Black Orcs, though, chasing the Chaos Lore of Death leader here. So bad news for Chaos. Yeah, this is going to be a good move. Just get your Sorcerer out of there. Fate of Yuna, nice call here. Though it probably was, I don't know if Blademaster nerfed it or what. Yeah, so the Fate of Yuna definitely doing some damage to the Black Orcs, but the Chaos Knights took a ton of damage there too. Comes the Chaos Warhounds, just looking to be disruptive. There should be a whole nother Chaos or Greenskin Giant over here. There is. Blademaster has killed a substantial number of Greenskin units. This battle's closer than I thought it was going to be initially. This Greenskin Giant is hurting, but not dead. Not at all. Especially with the Black Orcs in the vicinity. This Death Sorcerer is in big trouble. He's getting absolutely vomited on by the Giant, quite literally. Cycle charge by the Chaos Knights, who have gotten a respectable number of kills. Yeah, I don't see how this Giant can be dealt with on top of everything else out here. If these Chaos Knights can maybe get rid of some of these regrouping units, like getting rid of the Orc Boys, avoid the Giant for now. Just get rid of a bunch of the regrouped units and try and level the balance bar as much as possible, because right now the balance bar is sliding in favor of the Greenskins ever more. These Warhounds are not going to do much against the Black Orcs, but if anything is going to help there. Grimgore is still in really good shape too. It's just an ugly situation. Good job here cleaning up the routing units. The Orc Shaman is routing too. Be good to see him off the battlefield. Dealing with the two Giants is, like I said, that's probably insurmountable. Warhounds did do some nice damage here to the Black Orcs with that rear charge. If the Black Orcs would actually rout, the Warhounds could run them down, but they're only wavering, they're not routing. So that was almost very helpful for Blademaster, but not quite. Now the balance bar is tilted against him, so Blademaster gets beat out there. Interesting battle. I mean, honestly, just a really good pick on the part of the Greenskins. I mean, Giants are really weak to missiles. Chaos, the only missiles they really have are the Marauder Horsemen and the Hell Cannon, and the Hell Cannon's not going to do much good. Marauder Horsemen could potentially do good if you could keep them from being attacked, but their range is very limited. And it's just going to be really difficult for them to take down these Giants. So the Giants were a very good pick. I mean, maybe Chaos Warriors with Halberds could have done it, but I mean, that's a significant spend. The Chaos Knights with Lances here got a lot of kills. Definitely a good unit. The Marauders with great weapons honestly did more damage than I thought they would. One Forsaken did quite well, the other one not so much. And these Warhounds actually racked up way more kills than I thought they would. That was certainly worth the spend. Just by getting rid of routing units. And against the Greenskins, you know, the more I think about that, the more sound to pick it might be. The Greenskins usually route, and if you can chase them down with something, it'll keep them from coming back to the fights, and Warhounds would be an ideal unit for that. I like the Fire Sorcerer there just for that impact spell. It didn't give him the kills, but that did kill a substantial number of Orc Boys. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's a tough fight. You're really outnumbered as Chaos. The pick of the Giants is quite good. We can go take a look real quick at Chaos and just do our best to kind of think through this. I mean, Blademaster's probably better at this than I am, and he can give you his thoughts in the comments, but just looking through what's available here, I mean, probably not a bad idea just to bring the Chaos Sorcerer Lore of Death. I mean, why not? You got a Lore of Death. The only other option you have is someone like Sigvald. And, I mean, he is not that magnificent, especially against Grimgor. Grimgor is going to cut off his magnificent head and take a crap on it. Like, I mean, it's just not even a fight. So, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with the pick of the Lore of Death because it's probably the most useful for roughly the same cost as these two cheaper. And then the Chaos Sorcerer for Fire. Again, probably a decent pick. They have a pretty good range of spells that can be used. The problem is by choosing these Chaos Knights with Lances, he gets a lot of potential infantry killing power, which is great, but it's also a very significant spend, and it takes away from his ability to, and that's honestly just Chaos in general. They're so expensive. So for instance, if you did want to bring Chaos Warriors with Halberds, they have been made cheaper, which is helpful, and then Chaos Warriors for maybe a main line. Just look how very little money you're left with, and just so very little. That's the challenge with Chaos. Their units are more elite, but they're also far more expensive. Blademaster did make many of them quite a bit cheaper in order to help with this, but again, that's just still the very nature of Chaos. They are not a cheap faction. So I'm almost thinking maybe he had the Giant. These guys could definitely help against the Giants. They would give them trouble. The 4 Chaos Warriors would have held their ground much better against the Greenskins, but I mean, Chaos Warriors are not like a massive destruction unit either. They're going to be more of a defensive unit. These guys don't deal armor piercing, but I mean, Forsaken cost almost as much as a Chaos Warrior and have much less staying power, so I think you'd probably be safer to stay with the Chaos Warriors. And then, I mean, you could get you a couple of these Warhounds like he had. A good choice for running down fleeing Orcs. So definitely agree with that. And then maybe from here, maybe this is where you could throw in a Marauder Horseman, but I mean, that's a lot to micro, so I probably wouldn't want to throw that on. I would probably just use what money is left here and either do one of two things, which is bring a couple of the Chaos Marauders and then maybe give them an upgrade or two just to try and help them be more fight worthy. So that's an option. Give these guys a couple chevrons each, so it gives them a little bit of extra leadership and stats. Or you could maybe throw one more elite unit in here, like a Chosen, to help support your Chaos Warriors. Of course, it's not like Blademaster necessarily knew his enemy was going to pick 2 Giants, but this is just me thinking, the Halberds, will they beat the Giants? I don't know. Hey, you know what? That'd be a fun test. Let's find out. Let's find out. I'm going to bring Kolek, just so that we can keep a Greenskin commander at bay here. Let's go to the settings, and we're going to pick... Let's see. Let's pick. Let's just pick Marbad's Tomb because we know what it looks like here. So we got Marbad's Tomb. Let's get a couple of Chaos with Halberds. Switch to the Greenskins over here, and let's just throw a Goblin Shaman in here, and then a couple of Giants. Let's see how this turns out. I'll try not to use Kolek at all, but the Goblin Shaman probably won't cause too much damage to my men. It can, but I don't think the AI will use it properly. So let's see. Definitely could. Let's just see how these guys fare against a Greenskin Giant, because they have a bonus versus large. They're very well armored. They're a pretty tough unit. Very defensive unit. They have a charge defense against large foes. Let's pull them up here and take the charge of the Giants and see what happens. I'll just leave Kolek near enough to support, since the Goblin Shaman will be supporting the morale of the Giants. Yeah, okay, the Shaman did hit me with the Curse of the Bad Moon, so yes, that is actually quite damaging in terms of what it does to my melee attack. So, but it's also going to hit this Giant, so all's fair in love and war there, Goblin Shaman. Wow, that actually did some pretty decent damage, that Curse did. That was not bad. Okay, so my guys are braced. They're going to take the charge of the Giants. This should be a fairly ideal test. They have a charge defense against large foes. Okay, once they've been charged, I'm going to give them a counter order, and let's just see how the guys with Halberds fare against a Giant. They may not do well. The Goblin Shaman's helping in this over there, plus the... I mean, they definitely hold out better. So this test right here was pretty fouled up because the Curse of the Bad Moon screwed these guys up so bad, and the Goblin Shaman helped by attacking them in the flank. But if you look over here, these Halberds have taken the Giant down to half health already, and they're only about half the cost of the Giant. So this actually may not be a bad engagement here. It looks like the Giant's taking the worst of that engagement, but we'll see how it pans out. I'll use Kolek to kind of keep these guys busy. Alright, so Kolek's keeping them busy. It does look like the Chaos with Halberds, if they don't defeat the Giant, it's gonna be very close. And in my opinion, a pretty decent trade. The Giant costs so much more and takes so much damage from these units. Yeah, I like this trade between the Chaos with Halberds and the Giants. That's honestly probably the best counter that Chaos can field, is the Halberds in the Blades Balance mod. So they are going to defeat it there. Yeah, look at Kolek over here, beasting out both enemies. Well, I don't know. It's going to be very... Nope. The Chaos with Halberds wavers. It looks like the Terror or something. Yeah. The Giant caused Terror, and it caused these guys to rout. Otherwise, they were going to win that. See, they just came back. Let's see if the Halberds can finish the Giant off. He's going to turn around and charge back into him. Woo! That big stick. Yeah, my guys are going to rout again. But the Giant is pretty much gone. He's wavering too and broken. So yeah, it is definitely a good trade with the Halberds versus the Giant. Definitely a good trade. So anyway, couple of thoughts there. I didn't know that, so this is kind of fun to test. Hope you enjoyed that. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you all back again soon.